ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सागरललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिनि। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यत देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतृषे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna
माताजी।
Mataji.
Yeah, okay. What? No Prabhuji's today. Okay. So the last, we have come to the prayers of Vedas. Last prayer. We have around 20 verses. But they are very big puppet. I think only one we can do today. Such a big puppet. Okay. Did you wonder like how is Veda speaking? Because no, anybody got that doubt? How come Veda is speaking here? Prayers of personified Vedas. Because I felt like that.
I had that doubt, Mataji, but when I read Bhagavatam, I think it's clear that everything has a person behind it. Even
Correct.
anger, greed,
Very nice.
everything has a personified. So yeah, it's
Yes.
not impersonal.
Yes. Even the old age Jara also, right? They also are, that is also a
Yeah.
life. So actually everything in creation, as you said, it is having life. That's just that we are not able to see that, right? Like we cannot see so many things. And yeah. So this prayers of personified Vedas. So it starts with like after annihilation, like one of the creations, the Lord Narayana was lying on the Anantasesha. And then that time, like the Vedas, that is what is explained here. No, they come and come to wake up the Lord and they start glorifying. Like until then, they were not talking actually. No, did you not get a doubt? Okay, I'm just asking. So we have you not heard like Vedas came from the mouth of Brahma in the past time, no? Vedas, have you heard?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, but here it is said it came from the Lord directly, right? And also, if you basically, what does it mean? Everything comes from the Lord only. because we know that Brahma was also born from the navel, lotus navel, of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. So actually, Bhagavatam first shloka only it is said, Tene Brahmarudaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yatsurayah. So this knowledge of Vedas was actually given by Lord only. Lord gave the knowledge to Brahma. Brahma is actually, he is receiving the knowledge and he is giving back, right? So that is the Brahma. So he is not the originator of Vedas. I had said in Bhagavad Gita also, Vedaischa sarver ahameva vedyah. Krishna says, I am the one to be known, and I am the knower of all the Vedas, and I am the one whom is supposed to be known, by reading the Vedas. So actually here, Vedas prayers are like they glorify the Lord in both impersonal and as a personal. So basically, even the personal form is being glorified here. So usually we say like Vedas only glorify the mostly the about the many portion of the Vedas, also some portion glorify about the impersonalism and some fruitive activities is being more highlighted. But then here we see that they are actually glorifying the Lord himself, like his name, pastimes and qualities and these things. So we'll read. See, this is a very big part. Let's see how much we can cover. And the sloka is also very big. Actually, it starts from the verse 14, Shrutis Uchuhu, something like that. But then they have given us to read from 21. So we start from here. Srimad Bhagavad. Okay. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswati vyasam tato jayamudhirayet nashtaprayesho bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtikim mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat krupatamaham vande paramananda madhavam Shri Guru Deenadayalam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 87, verse 21. Duravagama Atmatattva Nigamayat Tavattanos Charitamahamritabdi Parivarta Parishramanaha Na Parilashanti Kechidapavargamapi Apishwarate Charanasaroja Hamsakula Sangha Vishristagruhaha. That was so tough. Okay. Duravagatma nigamaya tattvatanus
Duravagatma nigamaya tavattanus
Charitamahamrutabdi parivarta parishramanaha
Charitamamritabdiparivarta
Parishramanaha
Na parilashanti kechidapavargam apishwarete.
Na parilashanti kechidapavargam apishwarate.
Charana hamsa kulasanga vishristagruhaha.
Charana saroja hamsa kulasanga vishristagruhaha.
Okay. Translation. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My Lord, some fortunate souls have forgotten relief from the fatigue of material life by diving into the vast nectar ocean of your pastimes, which you enact when you manifest your personal forms to propagate the unfathomable science of the self. These rare souls, indifferent even to liberation, renounce the happiness of home and family because of their association with devotees who are like flocks of swans enjoying at the lotus of your feet. So, what is this? Param drishtva nivartate, right? That is the uh, actually this whole purport is like that. So basically, how one when one gets into the Krishna consciousness, so he starts to engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord. So how everything other things will become very insignificant for him. No, that will occupy so much of, like when Krishna will occupy everything, like so much time he will take of yours. Basically, like he will not have much time left for these material activities. Right? Once Krishna enters, it is like in your life, he starts to expand, and you're like completely occupied in the service of the Lord. Right? It happens like that when someone takes, and also it is like Krishna expands himself. No, it is said like the time. It is the he's the time, and devotees get so much of time even after doing the materialistic activities also, whatever they are to do, but they have time for so much of spiritual engagement. Do you all agree? Right?
Yes,
Than
Mata.
before,
Yes,
right?
Mataji. Very
So
definitely.
comparatively earlier, like we were only doing materialistic activity, still we used to feel fatigue, correct? We'll be tired and all that. But then this you don't feel when you are engaged in the service of the Lord or engaged in spiritual activity. You never feel this fatigue. Only in materialistic activity you feel very fatigue. No? Because that is not what we are made of, made for. The soul does not take any pleasure actually. It is not getting nourished. But when we engage ourselves in this spiritual activity, we get that happiness, no, that bliss, because we are connecting with the Paramatma, right? So we'll just go two paragraphs. Someone can start. Mataji. Veena Mataji, want to read? Hare Krishna.
May I start,
Hare
Mata?
Krishna Mataji, I'm driving. Can someone read? I'll come back and read.
Okay, Snigdha Mataji, please start.
Hare Krishna Mataji. All glories to
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada. Puppet. Ritualistic Brahmanas, Marthas, and impersonalists, it's Mayavadis, always try to relegate the process of Bhakti Yoga to a relative or minor role. They say that devotion to the personality of Godhead is for sentimental persons who lack the maturity to observe strict rituals or pursue the rigorous culture of knowledge. In this verse, however, the personified Vedas most emphatically declare the super excellence of devotional service, clearly identifying it with Atma Tattva, the science of the self that impersonalists so proudly claim as their own domain. Srila Jiva Goswami here defines Atma Tattva as the confidential mystery of the Supreme Lord's personal forms, qualities, and pastimes. He also gives a second meaning for the phrase Atmatano. Instead of meaning who assumes various bodies, the phrase can also mean he who attracts everyone to his transcendental body.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
We'll go just paragraph by paragraph because otherwise we will not able to cover fully. So what is being said here? So usually, like the Mayavadis or the Smartha Brahmanas, it is mentioned. So Smarthas Brahmanas means it is also a kind of Brahmanas. So basically, there are different type, right? Even in the subcaste, there will be in every religion we have like that. So there are more, so many ritualistic activities are there. No, so many rituals are there. It's all karma kanda basically. No, karma kanda, like you do this puja to different demigods. They do like for Monday they'll worship one god, Tuesday one god, Wednesday, Saturday one god, like different god, and for different, for expecting something material benefits from different devatas. So, but that is not the highest. Usually, most of them are engaged in that only, right? And impersonalists, they think that the highest achievement is because they think becoming formless is the highest. No, they think like the forms is only for the people who are not actually advanced in spiritual life. So such people will worship some kind of form, no. But later, when advanced, they have to go to formless. But actually, that is not the thing, right? Bhagavatam clearly states that what is the stages. It says that Vadanti tat tattvavidas, what is that? Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shaptyate. I missed some line in the between. So, so the transcendentalist, the learned transcendentalist, they have declared that the process is actually Brahman is the starting stage of Bhagavan realization, right? So one that appreciating about the effulgence of the Lord, or thinking that there is some power above this. I mean, I'm not this body, but there is something higher to that. No, they are accepting something supreme, but then they are not accepting that God has a form. And then there is Paramatma realization. Paramatma means four-handed form of the Lord Vishnu, and then comes the Bhagavan realization. That is the highest, where the Lord is engaged in the devotion, the pastimes with this pure devotees. Understanding the Krishna's form, the feature. It beautifully explains, right? So many verses are there. Can you quote some words, either from Brahma Samhita or from Bhagavad Gita, which states about the Krishna is personal? How can you say that Krishna is personal? Any verses you can quote which explain about either the form of the Lord, or the qualities of the Lord? Anything comes to your mind which says that Krishna is personal? It could not. Sometimes it could be as simple as like patram pushpam phalam toyam also. So whom do you offer that? Can you offer something, patram pushpam phalam toyam, to any impersonal form of the Lord? Obviously, it is for personal form, right? So anything you can remember?
Yes, Mataji, I can remember some from Brahma Samhita, which says
Yes, please.
it's some one last words are the Sundara Angam, Chinmaya, Sundara Angam.
Yeah, there are many verses in Brahma Samhita,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So it says, not Chintamani, Shyamam Tribangalalitam, right? That one you are saying.
Yes,
So Krishna,
yes,
Shyamam Tribangalalitam. What is that? I'm not getting that. One more is there, Mataji. So it explains about the
beautiful,
beauty.
which is being sang during that Darshan Arati, no, Mataji.
Govinda Madipurusham. Yeah.
Yes,
That
yes.
only. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. That is the
Yes,
first one. No?
yes, Mataji.
Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karanam. So Sarvakarana Karana. So Krishna is only the basis of impersonal feature also, right? He is the Sarvakarana Karana. And the other one is that the third shloka, which explains the
Sandarpa
beauty of the
Koti
Lord.
Kamaniya
Kamani,
Vishesha.
yes, that is also there. So which says, Kandarpa Koti means his beauty surpasses the beauty of thousands of cupids. And then
Yes.
Shyamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham, no? So he stands in a three, yeah, he doesn't stand straight, right? That is, there is a three bend in Krishna's form.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
it explains about the form of the Lord, and he's having a lotus feather, no? Shyamam Tribanga, what is that? See, it is here. Just read that verse once. Alola Chandra, okay. Alola Chandra Kalasadvanamalya Vamshi Ratnangadam Pranaya Keli Kalavilasam Shyamam Tribhangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. No? So Krishna, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, around whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers beautified with a moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with a flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending it is called, form of Shamasundara is eternally manifest. So eternally it is there in the spiritual world, right? Krishna's form. So the people who have got the taste in the personal feature of the Lord, or when one hears the past tense. So we know that when Shukadev Goswami also, He says he had more inclination towards impersonalism. Now we know, like when he was born, how old was he when he was born, Shukadeva Goswami?
16.
Yeah, 16 years, right? 16 years he was in the womb of his mother, and immediately when he was born, he just runs towards the forest. He was so detached, and he was like as pure as, like, he was so innocent, it is said, right? Innocent in the sense he didn't have a, when we see that he passed through the women who were actually having bath, they didn't even care, because they could make out in his eyes the purity. Just like when child is there, nobody cares, right? So similarly, but then they distinguished, even like Vyasdeva, who is the incarnation of God himself, but then when they covered, and he was old also, but still they covered, because he had that distinction of male and female. But that was also not present in Shukadeva Goswami. But then he was more inclined to impersonalism. But he hears two verses from the disciples of Srila Vyasadeva, and he becomes a devotee. So what are the verses, anyone knows?
The Putana pastime?
Yes, one is that, and one more is Barahapidam, right? So we'll just see that verses. Barahapidam natavaravu karnayo karnikaram bibridvasa kanakakapisham vaijayantim chavamalam randram venur adharasuda ya pudayan gopa brindair brindan Brindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishit Gita Kirtihi. So this was explained. So wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, blue carnica flowers on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and Vaijayanti garland. Right? Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers, and he entered the forest of Vrindavana, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and cowherd boys sang his glories. So this explains how Krishna looked, his beautiful features, all that is explained. So he heard this, and one more was the Ahobakiyam, right? अहोबकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिगांशया पाययदप्यसाध्वी right? लेभे गतिं दात्री. Where is that? Why is it coming in Hindi? अहोबकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिगांशया पाययदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं दात्री उचितं ततोऽन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम. So we know this famous pastime where Putana, wanted to kill Arjuna by feeding her breast. I mean, she had put poison in her breast, and she wanted to feed Krishna and kill him. But even after doing that, what Krishna is so merciful, because she feeded, he only took the good from it, and he gave her the position of mother in the spiritual world, right? So the translation says, Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of a mother to a she-demon Putana, although she was unfaithful, and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So these two verses were enough for Shukadev Goswami to become a devotee of the Lord. Like he was already a devotee, but then he had inclination towards impersonalism. And there were another example in Shastras who became from non-devotee, from impersonalists to devotees. Who are they?
Kumaras.
Yeah, the four Kumaras, right? So the four, what did they smell? They
Tulsi
smelled
leaves from
something.
the Vaijayanti garland of Vishnu.
Yeah, so when they, Kunjal Kamishra Sulasi Makaranda Vayu, that air came from the breeze carried the air, which they smelled the tulsi leaf from the Lord. So then immediately, actually, that they became the devotees, right? Otherwise, they were also attached to the impersonalism. So there are many examples. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had, converted so many impersonalists, to the devotees. So here also we can see like, yeah, so the glories, I mean, the Atma, this Vedas are also explaining, what to say, they are glorifying the Supreme Lord's personal features, personal form, qualities, and features. Okay, another 2 paragraphs someone can read. Hare Krishna. The pastimes of Lord Krishna.
I
from
can
there.
read,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Yes.
The pastimes of Lord Krishna and his various expansions and incarnations are an unfathomable ocean of enjoyment. When a person comes to the point of complete exhaustion in his materialistic pursuits, whether he has been searching after material success or some impersonal notion of spiritual annihilation, he can gain relief by submerging himself in this nectar. As Srila Rupa Goswami explains in his textbook on the science of Bhakti Yoga, Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, rendered into English by Srila Prabhupada as the nectar of devotion, one who tastes even a single drop of this vast ocean will forever lose all desire for anything else. Giving an alternative interpretation. Should I continue, Mataji?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Giving an alternative interpretation of the word Parishramanaha, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments that although the devotees of the Lord become fatigued after repeatedly diving into the endless waves and undercurrents in the ocean of the Lord's pleasure pastimes, these devotees never desire any happiness other than the Lord's service, even the happiness of liberation. Rather, their very fatigue becomes pleasure for them, just as the fatigue produced by sex indulgence is pleasurable to those addicted to sex. The Supreme Lord's pure devotees become enthused by hearing the charming narrations of his pastimes and feel impelled to dance, sing, shout out loud, kick their heels together, faint, sob, and run about like madmen. Thus, they become too absorbed in ecstasy to notice any bodily discomfort. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So in this we can see that, so pastimes of Krishna and his various expansions are all unfathomable ocean of enjoyment. So we take so much of bliss in hearing the pastimes, and it is never tired, right? Like every time we hear the same pastime, every year there'll be repeated of festivals, right? So when we in the Damodar month, whole month we will be hearing the same katha of Damodar Leela, and still we don't get fatigued. No, we don't feel tired of. And just think, even Prabhupada says, like, no, just any material name, if you're chanting so many times, you'll feel tired and you can't chant for more time. You will get fatigued. But then Hare Krishna mantra, it is like every time it is increasing the more rasa only. It will be actually, if you do the Shuddha Nama, so much taste we develop, because now we are in a stage where we are still Anartha Nivritti has not happened, right? So that is why we are not able to get the stage. But then when we become so fixed in our bhakti and we develop the taste in the Harinam, that is the goal actually. So all these things, whatever the sadhana we are doing, end of the day, we have to develop the taste in the Harinam, right? That is the goal. So, but then we are not on that platform. But if we cannot sit and do 24 hours chanting. But then if we don't do that, what else we do? We will again go back to our materialistic thing and do again start the sense gratification. That is why Prabhupada has given so many engagements for us, right? So every day we have to do the reading, we have to hear, we have to do glorification of the Lord. No, all this we have to do so that one day we will develop that taste. And hearing the pastimes, right? So always it is like ever new. Every time you hear about Krishna's pastime, it's always new. You never feel bored, right? We see that even in the no even while in Bhagavatam, whatever topics were discussed, the sages of Naimisharanya were very particular. They were asking, like, is it related to Krishna? Then you can explain, right? They were not interested in hearing if it is not related to Krishna. And Prabhupada says, like, chapter 1, nowhere Krishna has spoken. Then, but still it is important for devotees. Why? Why is it important still? The chapter 1. Krishna never spoke a word, no? Then why should we read that chapter? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yeah. Yes, why
Just to
should we read?
get the background on what he's going to say when he speaks. So if we directly hear what he's saying in the second chapter, we
Yeah,
don't know
one is that, yes,
why.
we have to understand the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the other thing? So the main thing is, one more main thing is there. Basically, we are interested because Krishna is there. No, Krishna is there on the battlefield, and this happened between. This is a conversation. Though Krishna is silent, right? Krishna is there in the battlefield. So we are interested because Krishna is present there. Krishna's presence is there. When Krishna is present, everything is important for us. No, it doesn't matter if it is Krishna is speaking or he is not speaking, but he is present. So that is why it is still important for us. So so all his incarnations also, when we study, like we never feel no, every Narsimha Jayanti we hear about the same thing, and then again on the Rama, Ram Navami we hear about the Lord Ram, no, and on Krishna Janmashtami also we hear about the Krishna's pastime, like there are innumerable pastimes, right, of Krishna's with his devotees, and it is unlimited actually. Only few are there in whatever is there in the Bhagavatam we read, right? And apart from Bhagavatam also, there are so many other pastimes of the Lord. So here, no, it is said here that when a person comes to a point of complete exhaustion in his material pursuit, so we see in the whether he has been searching after material success or some impersonal notion of spiritual annihilation, he can gain relief by submerging himself in this nectar. So when no, we do a lot of things in the material world, no, material pursuits, it is mentioned here. So one has to become exhausted. He's trying, and then he gives up, either by frustration or by understanding. Like when one understands that I'm not getting any happiness in this, no, because end of the day everybody does everything for one's own happiness, right? Something is giving you happiness, only then you will do, right? Because the soul's nature is to be happy, so it goes behind happiness. But sometimes things that the material object give me happiness, and we go there. But then every time what happens, it will give us kick, Maya's kick, Maya will give us kick, and then we will understand, okay, it will give, there is no happiness here. So there are 4 types of people, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, who come to the Lord. Who are they? 4 types of people.
The Arthati Jnani Jignashu.
Yeah, Artho. Artho means one who is having problem, no? Who's suffering from material problems or money, whatever. No, problems, it's not money. Artharthi means money, right? One who is coming for money to ask no, Krishna. And Artho, Artharthi, Jnani and Jignasu and Jnani, right? Uh, Jignasu means who want to know about the Lord. No, Jignasu, inquisitiveness is called Jignasu. And then Dhyani, one who is in knowledge, right? That is like devotees who want to know more. No, Jnani, he's already like Vidura. He's already Jnani. He knows everything, but still he want to hear from Maitreya Muni, right? So it is like they want to hear and more. Like Uddhava. Uddhava is a eternal associate of Lord Krishna, but then still he wanted to hear more. Arjuna, Arjuna wants to hear more about Lord, no? Krishna, he says like, I want to no, hear more and more about you. No, I never feel satiated, he says. No, I want to hear more from you, Krishna. Please tell me more, right? So it is like you never feel. And Krishna says what? Like, only hantate katayishyami divya yatma vidbhutayaha pradhanyata kuru shrishta nastyanto antarasimeno. So he says, there is unlimited. My glory is unlimited. My, uh, but I can only tell you the how much we can take it. Like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given to the extent how much we are able to understand. Now there are even higher dimensions of the Lord which we are not able to understand, which Krishna has not revealed, and some are revealed in the Srimad Bhagavatam and some in Chaitanya Charitamrita even more, right? More personal, how Krishna is so personal with his devotees and sweet pastimes we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. So like that, Krishna says, Pradhanyata Kurushreshta. I can only tell you the main things, Pradhanyata, which are very prominent. Prominent ones I can tell you, right? And he says like around 82 opulences Krishna explains in chapter 10. So it is like it is unlimited and it is ever expanding. Krishna himself does not know him, right? Because he expands, keep expanding. So that happiness. So these four type of people, when they become exhausted, they are having different inclination of material, achievements or material enjoyment. But when they give up and they want to take into devotional service and become the devotees, then what happens? All these unnecessary attachments will go. Today's in the morning we have a book reading session, right? In that we were having what? Prabhupada was explaining about the four Varnashrama Dharma into the atom season, right? So in the atom, how the sky is clear and there's no water in the clouds. And he was actually giving, I mean, actually this is this light of Bhagavata book was Prabhupada wrote this for a seminar which didn't happen, but they later their devotees published. I think this was for a audience of Japan or something, I think so. So because they are very much interested in the nature, and Prabhupada, he's an acharya, right? So he connected everything for them to explain the Krishna consciousness by connecting everything to the nature to Krishna, right? So everything and it is connected anyways. Krishna is the cause of all causes, and Prabhupada explains very nicely, right? So how when someone advances in the spiritual life, everything he loses interest for these material things. So I'll just read out in that 1 second. It's a very nice analogy is there. I just noted in the morning. Okay. So Prabhupada mentions the four orders of life to the four features of autumn, like no water in the sky is compared to brahmachari. So what is that? Meaning when a person become free from burden through spiritual knowledge, right? Because in the brahmachari age means there'll be so much of agitations also will be there because of the age. But then when they take a shelter of a guru, right? And they understand the higher thing in life and they engage in the devotional service of the Lord, all these materialistic things will become vanished. No, they are fixed in the knowledge when they get that. And grihastha, so for grihastha it is said the weeds wither away. So just like when there is the weather become dry, and then in the rainy season the mud will be very the road will be very muddy and it is, but then it all dries away in the autumn and it is coming like though, so there are no weeds also. So it says grihastha, unwanted material desire gradually diminish. No? Even as the grihastha, because there are two people, grihastha and gruhamedi, right? Gruhamedi means one is engaged in the engaging in one's earning for everything for sense enjoyment. But grihastha means one who actually has time for Krishna also. It is not like always he's engaged in the sense gratification, but actually he uses everything in the service of the Lord. And then weeds. Okay, the second was weeds wither away. Muddy roads dry up. It is compared to vanaprastha. So withdrawn from material involvement and become steady, right? So we know like vanaprastha means what? One who gives up his family life and he takes, he either like there are different, like kuti chaka, like they stay away from home, like food will be given to him. And then later they even not take from home also, right? So they keep them, senses are in control, no? They don't engage in sense gratification thing. They keep themselves away from family and all these things. So slowly what happens? Material desire gradually withdraws from material involvement and becomes steady. And the fourth stage is ponds become crystal clear. That is compared to sannyasa. So when is consciousness become pure and transparent in devotion. Actually, so many analogies are there in this book. It's not easy to understand actually. Very not a easy one to recall also. You have to do a couple of readings for this book. Yeah. So yes. So basically what I was trying to say was all these four people also who are interested in some different motives are there when they come to Krishna. But then when they become fixed in bhakti, right, all this go away. And Krishna's name itself, it purifies, right, slowly, and then they are fixed in the devotional service. Okay. Just like here Prabhupada gives example, no, a materialistic person, no, or they never get fatigue, or if it is fatigue, they are enjoying that something pleasure they are getting from sex. So similarly, Prabhupada says that the sometimes the devotees also may get fatigue in the sense like so there is some festival, so much of activity is there, and so much, you have to run here there, and so many activities are there continuously. You are not free. Kirtan is there. You have to chant, you have to dance in the kirtan, and so many arrangements. But then you see that they are always fresh. No, devotees are not getting tired. No, they are because Anandambudhi Vartanam Pratikshanam, no, Purnamrita Swadanam. So every moment it is giving the pleasure, bliss in the devotional service, right? Utsahat nischayat dhairya tat tat karma pravartanat. Sangat, it is that utsahat. So that utsaha has to be there in when we perform the devotional service to the Lord, it is said. Correct? Okay, we'll go to the next. Is someone? Pure Vaishnavas do not want.
I'll read one.
Yeah.
Pure Vaishnavas do not want even liberation, what to speak of other desirable goals, such as an exalted position as ruler of the heavenly planets. This degree of exclusive dedication is admittedly only rarely achieved in this world, as the Sruti speaking this verse indicate by the word kechit, a few. Not only do pure devotees abandon their hankering for future gain, but they also lose all the attraction for what they already possess, the common comforts of home and family life. The association of saintly Vaishnavas, the disciplic succession of masters, disciples, and grand disciples becomes for them their real family, filled with swan-like personalities like Sri Sukadeva Goswami. These great personalities always drink the sweet nectar of service to the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Many mantras of the Upanishads and other Shrutis openly declare devotional service to be superior to liberation itself. In the words of Narsimha Purva Tapani Upanishad, Yam Sarve Veda Namanti Mumuksava Savo Brahma Vadinascha. To him, all the Vedas, all seekers of liberation, and all students of the absolute truth offer their obeisances. Commenting on this mantra, Sri Shankaracharya admits, Mukta api lilaya vigraham kritva bhajanti. Even liberated souls take pleasure in establishing the Supreme Lord's deity and worshipping him. The great rival of Acharya Shankara, Srila Madhavacharya Ananda Tirtha, cites his own favorite Shruti mantras in this regard, such as Mukta hi etam upasate, Muktanam api bhaktirhi pramananda rupini. Even those who are liberated worship him, and even for them, devotional service is the embodiment of supreme bliss, and Amritasya dhara bahuda doha manam charanam no loke sudhitam dadhatu. Om Tat Sat. May his feet, which bountify forth floods of nectar, bestow wisdom upon us who are living in this world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madam. Yeah. So pure devotee means he will not even seek for liberation, right? So who is that who says that, no, who is the Bilva Mangala Thakur, right? The Mukti Devi is standing at my door, no? No, she's ready to give liberation, but he don't want it, he says, because liberation is nothing for them, because no, that especially they're not interested in becoming one with the God and all this. No? There's a verse, right? Kaivalyam narakayate. No? So they say, they compare to that, even going to a spiritual planet is also, they're not happy with that. Where is that verse? Mm. Yeah, this is from Chaitanya Chandramrita, right? So one who have got the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by him, no, this is said by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Kaivalyam narakayate tridasha purakasha pushpayate durdante durdantendriya kala sarpa patali prokhatam damshrayate vishwapurna sukhayate vidhi mahendradischa kitayate यत्कारुण्यकटाक्ष वैभववतां तं गौरमेव स्तुमः. So what is he saying in this? So Kaivalya Narakayate. So Kaivalya means becoming one with the Lord is like a hell. No? They don't relish anything. They don't want Kaivalya, right? So because Prabhupada says here, the highest perfection of Mayavadis is Kaivalya, or becoming one with Supreme, is considered to be hellish. And to say nothing of aspiration of promoted. So this one, Tridasha Pura Akasha Pushpayate. Even not interested in going to heavenly planet. And Durdantendriya Kala Sarpa Patali. No? So this the senses are very difficult to control. But then when one takes to devotional service, senses are like, it becomes like it has lost the poison. No? Is the poison, no, see here. Snakes with their poisonous fangs removed, right? Prokhatam damshrayate vishwapurna sukhayate. So the whole, where is that? The whole verse is world becomes blissful, I think. The yogi, but okay, it is not mentioned. Vishwapurna sukhayate vidhi mahendradischa kitayate. No, very insignificant, like insect. Mahendra Adi. Mahendra means Indra, right? So even going to their loka, it becomes like a very insignificant. Yet karunya kataksha. So vaibhava vatam tam gauram evastumha. So now that I have taken the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So he is paying the obeisances on him. So we can just read this. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has perfectly enunciated and broadcast the process of Bhakti Yoga. Consequently, for one who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the highest perfection of Mayavadis, Kaivalya, or becoming one with the Supreme, is considered hellish. To say nothing of Karmi's aspiration to be promoted to heavenly planets. Devotees consider such goals to be worthless phantasmagoria. So phantasmagoria means it is not truth. Like just like whatever we see in dream, that is not true, no? Something like some story builds up in the mind, no? It's like we are creating some story in the dream, and it will be very nice until we wake up. But after you wake up, that is of no use. So similarly, whatever we do in materialistic world, where Krishna is not there, all such goals are like worthless phantasmagoria. There are also yogis who try to control their senses, but they can never succeed without coming to the stage of devotional service. These senses are compared to poisonous snakes, just like Chanakya also says that one who is having the uncontrolled senses are like living in a house of poisonous snakes. So anytime death can come, he says, no? Anytime death, it can bite us. So uncontrolled sense means it is very dangerous. But the senses of a bhakta engaged in service of the Lord are like snakes with their poisonous fangs removed. Okay. When a poison is fangs are removed, then what? We are not afraid of the snake, right? So what is there? That is actually we are afraid because of the poison only. Otherwise, what is there to be afraid of the snake? So the senses which are in control, actually it is a friend to a person. The mind, because the senses means which includes the mind. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that the senses which in Krishna consider the mind also is one of the senses, which includes the manashashtan indriyani kashati, prakriti sthani kashati mamaivamsho jivaloke. There Krishna says that you are struggling with this 5 senses, 6 senses which includes the mind. Vishwamitra, the yogi tries to suppress his senses, but even great mystics like Vishwamitra fail in the attempt. It's not possible. Vishwamitra was conquered by his senses when he was captivated by Menaka during his meditation. She later gave birth to Shakuntala, the wisest person in the world, therefore are the Bhakti yogis, as Lord Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamamataha. Right? The highest transcendental loving service is done by the Bhakti Yogi. So it's confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So yes. So always eager to hear from swan-like personalities like Shukadeva Goswami. And it is said, no, Shankaracharya actually he is a Lord Shiva who comes and gives the Mayavada philosophy. He says to Mother Parvati that I come as a Brahmana and I give the similar to Mayavadi philosophy. Though many times he himself has given, glorified the Lord, his features, and about gopis also he mentioned in his Astaka. But then his commentaries on the absolute truth are a bit, what to say, it is not straightforward. It is not clear. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. No? Their interpretation is like confusing, and people are taking into impersonalism. But he himself was worshipping the personal form of the Lord. Yeah. So the last verse, somebody can read. In summary, yeah, Dipti Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Those rare fortunate souls who derive great delight
No,
by
in the summary, you can read that. In summary, Sridhar Swami prays.
Srila Sridhara Swami prays, Vatkatamrita pathodhav viharanto mahamudah kurvanti kritinah kechit chaturvargam trinopamam. Those rare fortunate souls who derive great delight by sporting in the nectar ocean of topics about you consider the 4 great goals of life: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation to be no more important than a blade of grass. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So they're not interested, right? So actually we know that usually Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, when why they read, they think that this is the highest thing, the liberation. No? There are 4 stages, that is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. No? So one will do dharma, and then through dharma, like he will want to artha, like he want money. No, he want money. Why does he want money? For doing kama, that is sense gratification. Means regulated sense gratification. That is what this Vedas teach, right? Regulated sense gratification, and then finally, when he is done with it, no, just like you are eating jamun or some sweet, too much you can't eat. You can have up to some extent. You are having 5, 10, and then you feel like enough. I can't have more. Then you give up, right? So like that. So doing so much of sense gratification, and finally, when one gives up, then he takes to the path of liberation. But here this liberation is not like going back to Godhead. This is just becoming free from materialistic thing, and uh, uh, so that impersonalism, it is said. So that is why the devotees are considering not comparing that as a blade of grass. They're not interested, right? Please don't give me that. No, we in some of the prayer we read right previously that is it we read a devotee saying that please don't give me Krishna, because the Lord is, it is said, Krishna can very easily give you material comforts. No? But where the pure devotional service is very Sudurlabha. No? Sudurlabha, it is very, no, one of the 6 uh, uh, qualities of a pure devotional services. It is Sudurlabha. No? You see, Asha Bandha, Sudurlabha. No? So Kleshagni, right? These are the so there it is said it is not easy to get. So if it does get, one have to tightly hold on to it, right? They said, no, the Acharya say that when somebody gets this pure devotional service, anybody, anywhere it is sold, so please take it, right? In the some kirtan we have read that no, very rare to get this holy name. So similarly here, these are very rare, those rare and rare fortunate soul who derive great delight by taking the nectarian ocean of topics about you, consider the 4 great goals of life to be no more important than a blade of grass. Okay, we'll stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Mataji.